peace offering together for reconciliation. It's reconciliation. It brings reconciliation to you as a family because we're under the Sar Shalom. And what does he do but bring reconciliation to our lives as Mishpocha, as family? He is our peace, and he made peace by the tree is spoken about in Yeshayahu, Ephesians, and Colossians. It all goes back to the Shalom offering. Verse 17, but the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burned with fire. Why? Eat my flesh and drink my dam, is what the Master said, but not on the third day, because the sacrifice is going to be raised for glory. It shall not be left past the third day. It shall not be left on the third day. It shall be raised to glory, consumed with fire. And if any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his shalom offering be eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall be imputed to him that offers it. It shall be an abomination, and the being that eats of it shall bear its iniquity. You've got to get your counting 1, 2, 3 correct. You have to understand 1, 2, 3. How many days in the tomb? 3 days and 3 nights. And the flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten, and it shall be burned with fire. As for the flesh, all that is clean shall eat of it. But the being that eats of the flesh of the sacrifice of shalom offerings that pertains to Yahweh, having his uncleanness upon him, even that being shall be cut off from among his people. Moreover, the being that shall touch any unclean thing, as the uncleanness of man, or the uncleanness of beast, or the uncleanness of beast, or the uncleanness of beast, or any abominable unclean thing, and eats of the flesh of the sacrifice of shalom offerings, which pertains to Yahweh, even that being shall be cut off from his people. Wow. Because remember the Peshat. In the book of Ivrim, Philippians, we were in the so. To him who knows it is sin, it is sin. If you do as Vayikra, Philippians, and Hebrews instructs, then knowingly eat of the unclean, you're cut off. Because the language bears up that we are to be offering our sacrifices according to Ivrim chapter 13 verse 15 as the shalom offering. So you do what you can do. That's what you do. There are parts of the shalom offering that come forward into the so deep level. There are parts of the Peshat that we cannot do until we have a standing Beit HaMikdash. But we do what we can do. If we understand what Mashiach has taught us, then we can never return back to the abominable and the unclean and offer our sacrifices of praise from our lips. Do you understand? You see how we get more instruction? That's not to condemn anybody, but it's to rejoice in the fact that Yahweh has brought us forward and has shown us these things that we can understand, that we are living within the shalom offering in the sod level, but there are things that we can do within the Peshat. That it all works in unity together, because Yahweh wants you to have health within your body, which is the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. And the table on which you put your food is likened to an altar. The language bears that, as we saw in the Haftarah. There's so much to see, but it's important that we get our stance with altars correct. That it's Yahweh who is for a hot altar. It is Yahweh who is for the Beit HaMikdash. It is Yahweh that tells us that sacrifice is tov, but we are to do it from a place of brokenness, from a place of Brit Milah Ha-Lev. That is how we're to do it. Not to offer it as if you were killing a man or strangling a dog or breaking its neck, because that would be wrong. But you're to do things in the way that Yahweh has designed it. But there is another, the anti-Moshiach, who stands against altars, against sacrifice, against the Beit HaMikdash. So where you stand in regards to altars will either align you with Yahweh or align you with anti-Moshiach. Because it's anti-Moshiach that wants a cold altar. Daniel chapter 9 verse 26 makes that as clear can be. The prophecies come from the past forward. Antioch Epiphanes, a shadow of the anti-Moshiach. What did he do? Defile altars. So in the future of that multi-level prophecy of Daniel, the defiling of an altar is by anti-Moshiach. We stand for the Beit HaMikdash. We stand for the Rosh Pinah up on the Temple Mount. We stand for the Torah and the priesthood. We are to support the building of the Beit HaMikdash and a hot altar. Amen?
Amen. Amen.